Welcome back, miners, to another episode of the Journeyman's Journey, where we learn the intricacies of Minecraft together. I'm the old prospector, and this episode we're bringing in a couple of villagers through the nether hub and building a breeder. But first, during the last episode I mentioned that I wanted to upgrade my zombie spawner with a lower floor and some glass walls. Well, I did that, and here's how it looks now. It does seem to be working a little faster, but to be honest, from here on I'll most likely be getting my XP from the blaze farm. It's good to know, though, for future reference about the mechanics involved, and I will almost certainly apply the same principles to the blaze spawner at some point to make it more efficient as well. The village near my base, which is only 150 or so blocks to the northwest, had exactly one villager in it the last time I was there. Now, whether it was from a pillager raid, or just attrition from regular mobs over time, or maybe I kidnapped more than I realized trying to get my iron farm going way back near the beginning. We'll never know for sure, but going there this time wasn't an option. So the first thing we needed to do was expand the tunnels in the nether hub to accommodate a boat with a driver and a passenger. I made the tunnels 2 blocks wide and 3 blocks tall just to be safe. Now, I should have known better from the moment I stepped out of this portal that I was making a mistake, just from the location of the portal, uphill from most of the village. You just can't get villagers uphill in a boat, at least not without a lot of extra work. But I lucked out, a little bit at least, and there are 2 unsuspecting volunteers uphill from the portal. Easy peasy, right? Right? Well, the first one was easy enough. Into the boat, row it to the edge of the hill, down we go, and push him into the portal. Repeat the process in the nether and get him to the hub. That's when I realized I really hadn't thought things out properly. I didn't have a place picked out to keep the volunteers at my base while I built the breeder.
What am I going to do with you for now?
Just hear me out here, miners. It would be a better idea to build the breeder first. Just saying. So I built a basic little dirt wall around volunteer number 1 and went back for volunteer number 2. Volunteer number 2 was not nearly as willing as his predecessor to get in the boat. You're going to get in the boat. I know, you saw what happened to your friend when he got in the boat. But you got to get in the boat. But he came along eventually. Here's a little tidbit of game mechanics for you, miners. When we say boats don't go uphill, that even means the one lousy little pixel between a dirt path and a grass block. Once I got him into the boat, getting volunteer number 2 back to town was uneventful. Except for this one moment when he really just wanted to stand right there in that wheat field. I mean, he really just wanted to stand right there in that one spot. The only guess I have is he was trying to pathfind back to the portal, which is more or less underneath where he was standing. Oh, you are just a butthead, aren't you? I don't want to hit you. Apparently threats work. Then it was a simple case of herding the 2 of them through the house and into a temporary cell, dormitory, and giving them beds and workstations to keep them occupied while I built the breeding area. Here's another little tidbit of game mechanics, miners. It's easier to nudge villagers around from the back than it is from the front or the side. There's a bed down there. It's nighttime. Go to bed. Now, miners, I could certainly let it go at that and let you think that I did a really good job at this. But miners, that would be a lie. Neither you nor I have the time to watch it all, but just trust me. Between one of the volunteers wandering off and dying a horrible and senseless death, then me going back to the village and getting stuck there with a broken portal and no flint to reactivate it, and a slew of other comedic errors, it was by far the most frustrating 97 minutes of Minecraft I've ever played without actually dying. And we shall speak of this no further. Now with the hard part out of the way, this next bit should be super easy. But once again, miners, I need your help. With this being a brand new channel, things are starting off slowly, but the pace is starting to pick up a little. If you, miners, could take just a moment of your time and drop a comment or just click like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. And I mean the real world, not just this Minecraft world. At this point, miners, I'm going to try something a little different. You may have noticed I have two totally different styles of videos. One style is heavily edited with voiceovers that I record during editing, much like the 5 minutes or so that you just watched and what I'm doing right now. The other style is much less edited and just sort of follows along with gameplay, like last week's Blaze Farm episode. So for the rest of this episode, we're going to just follow along as I build a villager breeding center. It's a design by Real Jaden, and there will be a link in the description. Leave a comment and let me know which style of video you like better, and don't forget to drop a quick like and subscribe. How you guys doing? Now why are you a farmer? That's just silliness. Want to be at least here. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The farm. Now, this farm is based on a design by Real Jaden, Jayden, and it's a fairly simple farm where we're going to have 2 farmer villagers, and when they breed, they try to go get to a bed naturally. Fall through a trapdoor. Get moved. Yeah, you'll see it when it's done. So that's it for this episode, miners. Once again, I learned a lot, and almost as much about what not to do than what to do. But that's how we become better miners, right? Stay tuned for the next episode, where we put some of these newly bred villagers to work in a trading hall. And always remember, miners, boats don't go uphill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the way I built this, that activator rail is going to first look for a place to eject that way, then that way, then that way. So I'm at a total loss here for as I almost need to turn this thing around 180 degrees. Alright. I'm gonna work on this offline. Okay, miners, here's one of those places, once again, where I banged my head off a wall for about 2 hours trying to make something happen that wasn't ever going to happen. The bottom line is I was trying to use the activator rail to kick the passenger of the minecart out onto the farm, but that was never going to happen as long as there was blocks on the same level as the tracks other than the ones on the farm. In other words, the game mechanics insists on trying to put the passenger on the same level as the tracks when the activator rail kicks them off. So it just wasn't going to happen the way I wanted it to. Alright. Okay, miners, after sleeping on this and giving it some thought, I realized that all this redstone here has been totally unnecessary. And all we really need is this little turn right here to guide the minecart into the farm. That's all we need, because once we get the 2 villagers inside the farm area, this whole thing is going to go away anyhow. We didn't need all that, and I wasted a lot of time figuring it out. The simplest solution most often is the best. The minecart will come down here, make the turn, drop into the farm, and the villager will be delivered safely in the minecart into the farm. Simple as that. Now that we have 2 villagers to work with, it's time to show off the rest of the breeder. I'm not going to go too deep into the details here. It's based on a design by Real Jaden and link to his build videos in the description, but I'll run through the basic operation for you. It's pretty simple. The 2 volunteer villagers work the farm. As long as they both have enough vegetables in their possession, they'll occasionally get together in heart mode and make a baby. The 2 beds here are already spoken for, so at the next nightfall the baby will head over here where there are more beds. The upper trapdoor keeps the adults from wandering out, and the baby thinks the lower trapdoor is a full block. So the baby falls and gets transported in a water stream under the beds to the holding cell, room. When it reaches adulthood, it swims up into the room where it waits to be needed. Under the holding room, this dispenser, when activated, places a minecart on the rail, which then acquires a villager on the way by and takes him on his merry way. That's about it. So miners, that'll do it for this episode. Once again, I learned a lot and almost as much about what not to do than what to do. But that's how we become better miners, right? Stay tuned for the next episode where we let some of these newly bred villagers get attacked by a zombie, then put them to work in a trading hall. And always remember, miners, boats don't go uphill.